Joining me now is SandboxAQ CEO Jack Hidary. Jack, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Love talking AI with you,
Maria.
and I know you'll be collaborating with NVIDIA to accelerate innovations across various sectors like biopharma, advanced materials, financial services, cybersecurity, navigation, and medical imaging. How does the tariff story play into what you're doing?
Maria, great to be with you. Good morning. It's a very exciting time in AI right now. First of all, I think we have to be really proud as Americans that the United States has the leading AI companies in the world, both in software and in chips. America leads. We have the top AI companies for large language models, the top chip companies such as NVIDIA, AMD, and others that produce the chips that drive this AI innovation. You just had Lilly on. We talked about healthcare. AI for biopharma is now going to really be a big factor in producing medicine at lower costs for everyone out there. This is the moment of American supremacy in AI. And I think it's time that we really support our American champions. So I understand the need, of course, to address the trade issues, but we want to make sure while we're doing that, Maria, that we're really supporting the American dominance in the space of AI.
Well, I mean, President Trump has made it a priority, Jack. You know, I mean, you don't have to do one without the other. He's also trying to get manufacturing into America.
We want manufacturing to come back to America. We want to make sure those jobs come back to America. AI is part of that story as well. AI allows us to increase our GDP while actually taming inflation. AI is a deflationary factor. Right now, we're looking at about 1.9% is the S&P Global projection for GDP growth this year. Last year was 2.8%. With AI, we can add several percentage points to the GDP growth of America. Each percentage point, Maria, as you know, is about $280 billion added to our GDP. We want to really make sure that we're supporting the AI companies, the chip companies. I completely understand the need to deal with China, but let's not use NVIDIA as a political football in this particular area. I think it's really important that we support our companies, really get out there and make sure that we're collaborating to have AI be the true GDP driver that it can be.
Yeah, I mean, but here we also have the same issue that we were talking about with Dave Ricks, right? Because the advanced semiconductor chips are made in Taiwan. Okay, and China keeps telling us, reminding us at every turn that it wants reunification with Taiwan. So should we be relying on NVIDIA chips that are made in Taiwan that we're using in our military? No, we need NVIDIA to fire it up here. That's the point. That's what President Trump is trying to do.
Exactly. The president has sent a very clear signal on that, and the companies have responded. You saw the president in the Oval Office with Project Stargate, OpenAI, and SoftBank, and Larry Ellison of Oracle. NVIDIA, Jensen just announced another $500 billion investment and commitment to bring manufacturing of semiconductors to America, starting in Texas, starting in Arizona, these different states. So I think these are very positive signs of bringing advanced manufacturing of chips to the United States. But it's really the moment now to realize that AI is a force for GDP growth, and GDP growth that actually also brings down inflation. It actually has that deflationary aspect. If we want medicine, Maria, that is going to be solving cancer, solving Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, but we want it to be available to all at cheaper prices, which is, again, one of the main tenets of this administration, and justifiably so. We need AI to drive that biopharma innovation. If we want new materials, new energy, all these areas, we want to drive it with AI. This is going to be a renaissance for America. I just want to make sure we're supporting our companies as we're doing that.
It's all very good points, for sure. SandboxAQ, I want to ask you about your company. You've added key players to your funding round, including Ray Dalio, Horizon Kinetics, BNP Paribas, Google, NVIDIA. You've already raised more than $450 million. Jack, what are you going to do with the money? Tell us about the company.
Well, it is a very exciting moment because this round of $450 million added, Maria, to our previous round of $500 million, brings us to a total of $950 million raised for the company. As you just pointed out, not just having financial investors, which are wonderful, T. Rowe Price, so many incredible financial investors with us, but also now strategic investors such as Google, NVIDIA, and others to really bring AI beyond just large language models. People know ChatGPT. It's a fantastic tool. People should use Google Gemini as well. All these wonderful large language models for productivity with emails, marketing, customer service. But now it's also time for large quantitative models. And that's why these investors have been drawn to us, Maria, because we can now impact the world of biopharma. We can impact the world of quantitative finance and manage money better with less risk. We can drive this kind of productivity that adds GDP growth to the United States of America. And this is something that is really exciting. And in particular, Maria, this brings us to Agentic AI. You've heard a number of different companies talk about agents, and I think our viewers might be able to see some B-roll as well on this. But agents allow us to extend ourselves as humans with software that has more autonomy and allows it to start looking at new molecular structures for brain cancer, for pancreatic cancer. What our viewers are seeing now is a molecule that the agents are taking, and they're making millions of versions of it to find the best fit with that target in the body, bringing down the cost. Right now, Maria, it costs too much money to develop a drug, on average about $2.5 to $3.5 billion per drug. That's why drugs cost so much. Let's bring that down to 90% of that. Let's bring it down to $200-300 million instead of $2.5-3 billion. This is something that would change the face of healthcare for the United States.
Well, I think this is all incredibly exciting. I mean, when you say agents, what do you mean by that? You mean like a robot working alongside a human? How does that work?
So initially, it's a great question. These are software agents that live in the cloud, and they have their own autonomy in order to take a job from a human and take a task given to it by a human and then drive forward with that task. So normally it might take 3, 4, 5 years to explore a huge chemical space to find a great drug. We can give that to the agent, a piece of software in the cloud, and it can run with it in a matter of hours, days, just weeks, and actually get to that solution really, really quickly. Wow. We also obviously are looking to a future of humanoid robots that will come in. When you talk about bringing manufacturing, for example, of pills, of medicine back to the United States, which is absolutely critical for the resilience of the United States of America, we want to have humans and robots working together to make that efficient and make that scalable. So these initial agents, Maria, are in the cloud. They're pieces of software. They're not robots. They're working, though, on our behalf, on the behalf of humans, to make all this happen. This is now the advent of quantitative AI, not just language AI. So it's a really exciting time, Maria.
Tell me about it. The world is changing, and it is changing fast. America is moving fast. I like the fact that you explained the quantum end of that. Thank you for that. Jack, great to see you. Please come back soon. We'll keep a watch on it. Thanks, sir.
Great to see you, Maria.
Hidary. All right, we'll see you soon, Jack.